A to Z chemistry. A is for atoms. Atoms are the basic building blocks of all matter. Atoms are able to join and become molecules. Atoms make up everything around you. They are composed of three pieces: a proton, electron, and a neutron. The proton and neutron are in the center of the atom, while the electron is in an electron cloud orbiting the nucleus. B is for beta decay. Beta decay is a type of radioactive decay. The atom has a nucleus with too many neutrons and not enough protons, so the one neutron turns into a proton and a fast-moving electron. During the decay, a beta particle is released. In the reaction, the atomic mass does not change, but the atomic number does. C is for Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is a way in which chemists are able to measure the amount of lattice energy between two atoms. The Q's represent the charges of the two charged particles, while the D represents the distance between the two atoms. K is a constant. When you increase the size of an atom, you decrease the lattice energy. When you decrease the distance between atoms, you will increase the energy, but it also does when charges are increased. D is for dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is a method used in chemistry that is able to convert units of measurement. We can convert any unit to another unit of the same dimension. An example of this is changing kilograms to grams. You must know that there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, but with this, you are able to change the units. E is for electron. The electron is very important in chemistry. It is a negative charged particle in an atom that orbits the nucleus. It is equal to the number of protons, unless it is an ion. Electrons are what gives a lot of atoms their properties. Based on the number of outer shell electrons, an atom is able to create chemical bonds with other atoms. F is for fluorine. Fluorine is an element in the periodic table. This element is considered the most electronegative element. This means that it's able to easily attract a bonding pair of electrons. The periodic trend has electronegativity increasing left to right and from bottom to top, which is why fluorine is considered the most electronegative element. G is for gram. The gram is a standard unit of measurement in chemistry. It is found both when doing problems, but also in the lab. It is an SI unit that is very helpful and tells a person the mass of the substance that they are measuring. It is used to find molar mass, which is grams per mole, and is used a lot in stoichiometry to convert between grams and moles from reactants to products. H is for halogens. Halogens is a group of elements in the periodic table. These elements are in group 7, each having 7 valence electrons, meaning that they have a -1 charge. These elements are reactive, non-metallic elements that tend to form strongly acidic compounds when with hydrogen. I is for ions. When atoms gain or lose electrons, they are called ions. When the atom loses an electron, it becomes a positive charge due to there being more protons than electrons. When an atom gains an electron, it becomes negatively charged due to the fact that it has more electrons than protons. J is for joules. Joules is a unit used in chemistry. It is used when measuring energy. It is considered equal to the kinetic energy of a kilogram mass moving at the speed of 1 meter per second. K is for Kelvin. Kelvin is a measurement for temperature. K is used in conjunction with Celsius. You must solve for Kelvin by adding 273.15 to your Celsius temperature. L is for limiting reactant. A limiting reactant is the reactant that is used up first in the reaction, thus limiting the amount of product that can be made. The other reactant is considered the excess reactant. M is for molar mass. Molar mass is a physical property and is the mass of a given substance. In chemistry, the molar mass is measured in gram per mole, meaning that calculations tend to have to occur when finding the molar mass. To find the molar mass of the compound, you add up all the elements' individual masses. Each element on the periodic table has a specific molar mass. N is for nucleus. A nucleus is the center of an atom. The nucleus holds both the protons and neutrons. Nearly all mass of an atom is contained in the nucleus. O is for order of the periodic table. There is a specific order in the periodic table, and it allows for people to see the similarities and compare the periodic properties of the elements. This allows for chemists to group elements together and to observe how they will react with one another. P is for pH scale. The pH scale allows for scientists and everyday people to see how acidic or basic a substance is. The scale is 1 to 14. 7 is considered a neutral pH, which is what water is. Anything below 7 is acidic. When getting lower and lower, the substance is more and more acidic. Anything above 8 is basic. As you get higher and higher, the substances get more and more basic. Q is for quantum numbers. Quantum numbers is a way to describe an electron. There are 4 quantum numbers, each looking at different parts of the electron. The energy level, next is the angular momentum, then the magnetic moment, and finally the spin of the electron. R is for redox reactions. There are multiple different redox reactions, such as combustion and decomposition. In a redox reaction, one compound is losing electrons as another is gaining electrons. When losing an electron, it is oxidized, while gaining an electron means the compound is reduced. S is for stoichiometry. Stoichiometry is a quantitative relation between reactants and products in a chemical reaction. The stoichiometry tends to be determined by the coefficients in the equation. The ratio between the moles in the reaction tend to be whole integers. Stoichiometry compares reactants and products by converting grams to moles, moles to moles, and moles to grams. T is for titration. Titration is an analytical method to determine the concentration of a solute in a sample of by reacting it with a standard solution. The standard solution is the solution of known concentration. Titrations are seen as acid-base titrations in the chemistry lab. U is for unit. A unit in chemistry is what goes after a number and then allows for a person to know what the individual measured. In the SI system, there are 7 basic units: the meter, the kilogram, the second, the Kelvin, the ampere, the mole, and the candela. V is for valence electrons. A valence electron is an electron that is found in the outermost shell of an atom. The valence electron can participate in the formation of a chemical bond if the outermost shell is less than 8 electrons. Valence electrons can help to create the properties that an element has, such as electronegativity. W is wavelength. We look at wavelength in chemistry when we look at energy and frequency. As you increase wavelength, the energy decreases, and as you decrease wavelength, the energy will increase. Wavelength is used in multiple different equations in chemistry. X is for xenon. Xenon is an element found in the periodic table. Xenon is a noble gas, meaning it is not reactive and has a full outer shell with 8 electrons. It is found in Earth's atmosphere in trace amounts and is both colorless and odorless. Y is for yield. In chemistry, yield is also referred to as the reaction yield. This is the amount of product that is obtained in a chemical reaction. The yield can be measured in either grams or moles. This can then help to find the percent yield in a reaction. Z is the letter used to represent atomic number. Z is used to represent the atomic number when looking at an element. Each aspect has a different letter that represents it. Z is the letter for the atomic number and is on the left side of the element symbol, below the atomic mass.